Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the live stream for those watching in the future. Hey, I got my main TikTok account back, and as I was exploring things as I got it back, I've made three videos, I guess you could say two, one saying my account access is restored. But I saw that TikTok right now is incentivizing this channel at least to make content, to make quality content, high quality content. And so I spent quite a while preparing and making this video right here. I just hit publish before going live, the most recent one here. It's almost 10 minutes long. And I think it's going to be very helpful, very informative. If you want to support the channel, check it out, World War Bitcoin on TikTok. And yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that. And let's get to the live stream. So let me go live on TikTok, and of course, be happy to answer any questions here. But I am going live on my backup account, WWBTC5. So head on over there if you want to talk crypto, ask any questions. This live stream, of course, is for the chats for YouTube members of the channel, which you can always join. But okay, live on TikTok, WWBTC5. Are you DCAing slowly, or would you wait to buy in bulk at certain prices? I would only DCA. I don't have really a ton of money to put in right now because just my monthly expenses are super high. But if I did, I would DCA into only Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And you could talk me into like Bitcoin Cash or BNB, something like that. So, hello, Sam. I'm waiting. I think a lot of altcoins could bleed. I'll actually tell you one that I did buy that's none of those, and it's Nakamoto Games. So look at Nakamoto Games last bear market. It went to 4 to 6 cents, something like that, and ranged there for a long time, and then it ended up going to $3. I'm not expecting it to go back to $3, but now it's at 6 cents again. So I bought some with the hopes, hey, could it go to $1 this time around, or maybe even it could put in a new high. But seeing it at its last bear market bottom lows and that it's been flatlining there, that has me interested. I'll put a couple $100 in it. I'll probably buy more of that later. So, hello, me, Eddie Parker. Good morning. Hi, Enriched Gardens from the Canary Islands. Okay, lucky you. All right. For those who are just hopping in, check out this video I just posted on my main TikTok account, World War Bitcoin. I got it back. So I put a lot of work into it. Hello, Marcelo. What's up with gold and silver today? Gold's up a little bit. Silver is down. Okay. Saskatchewan. All right. V, I was talking about Nakamoto Games. Got about 35,000 tokens, but ADA at 40 cents. At this point, I just hold on. Yeah, what did ADA get down to? I mean, there will. I have a lot of confidence. I'm not Cardano's not going to make all your wildest dreams come true. But like, it's at its previous bear market bottom. Could it go lower? Sure. But there will surely be a time when you'll hit break even or go higher than that. Hello, Bush and Anthony. Steven, thanks for the follow. Let's see. Bitcoin, 67,000. What's your Thuon arrow? A Rio? I'm assuming you mean arrow. It's pretty much the same as last week, I would assume. It's at now it's shown a little bit of bounce off this level that I was like, man, if it loses this level, it's going to go down pretty hard. But as of right now, it's held that level and put in two green weekly candles so far. I'd still be a little nervous about it, but I'd be interested in buying Arrow at some point. Ethereum Layer 2s are pointless now. Because of some upgrade, Ponky, I'm behind the curve a little bit on that. Me too. Okay. All right. Got some Myra. You mean Miria and Echelon Prime? I mean, those are both pretty flatlined, I'm assuming. Yeah, I mean, can Echelon Prime go all that much lower? That's kind of my thing, man. All right, it's at 46 cents. It got as high as, what, $28. How far down is that? Is that 96%? It's like, can it do a dead cat bounce at some point? I tend to think yes. So that's kind of my thing, is I'm waiting for a lot of these to just flatline, and then I'll buy some. Do you still believe we have bottom? JD, did you ask me that question last live stream? Because I gave a pretty well thought out answer, and it's a lot more complicated than just straight up saying we've bottomed. All right, most cryptocurrencies have probably not bottomed. But if you're looking at total 2, there's specific ones. I have the most confidence that XRP might have bottomed. Total 2, I have confidence that it's close to a bottom if it hasn't bottomed yet. I could see there being some kind of bullish divergence where it hits a lower low but RSI doesn't. But like that doesn't mean you just go out and buy whatever cryptocurrency. I'm have to take cash on my XRP and take a loss. I think it might bottom at 80. All right, I mean, you want to do that? I disagree. Yeah, the upgrade is now cheap to use too. It's better to buy Ethereum itself now. I mean, I'm not touching anything other than Ethereum. Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin. And, aside from Nakamoto Games, which I talked about, which is, I know, random. Can ETH break 2150? Sure. When? So I made a video last week saying, 1750 might have been the bottom for Ethereum. I'm open to this idea that it would wick lower than that, but that would be, 1, a swing pattern failure trade, and 2, a bullish divergence on the weekly chart. So we'll see. But yeah, eventually ETH will break 2150. Omar, thanks for the follow. Thoughts on Solana's inflation? I'm not worried about it. One thing you got to think about, Mateo, all these junk coins that launch, and then end up going to zero on Solana, half their liquidity is Solana. So they end up taking, $2,500 worth of Solana out of the ecosystem forever, like every one of those millions of coins. So I think Solana's inflation is a little bit, if people are afraid of that, it's a little overrated. Thought on Ordi, it has supply like Bitcoin. I haven't looked at Ordi in a long time. Let me check out Ordi. I need a good chart. I mean, it's not one that I'd be interested in touching. Any new utility launched between the last bear market and today, or let me say the last bear market in 2025, it's just like a lot of those may never come back. XRP predictions for the end of the year. Nothing crazy. Like, just remember, XRP will bore you to death, You know, I mean, look at what it did all throughout from 2022 to what, from May of 2022 until November, October. It didn't do anything. I mean, it rose a little bit, but you know, so it's at $1.40 now. How about I say $1.50? And then one day out of nowhere, it just explodes. Is it worth investing in XRP now, or is it too late? It's actually very early still, based off of what I just said. Bitcoin will back 42K. Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying that. I understand your reasoning, and people have a lot of confidence in Bitcoin going to the 40s. I am fine with the idea, like if Bitcoin does end up going to the 40s, I'm perfectly fine with that. But I've made my case and I stand by it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. ANC and Christopher, thanks for the follow. 50 cents. I'm trying to buy the sweater but don't see the link. Are you talking about this? Okay. Do you know much about Dash? I know it's privacy. I know it did well when Monero and Zcash did well. Dash has some life in it. I mean, privacy coins is a narrative that I think can only get stronger. Would I buy Dash now? Probably not. Bull run is back, but Chris, we're going to 42K. Thoughts on VeChain and ADA? You'll have plenty of time. Plenty of time to buy those. What's your case? Hey, I just worked really hard on a video on my main TikTok account, World War Bitcoin. I laid out my case. And it has to do with, you know, 2026 is the bear market because 2025 was the bull market. You know, this is something I've been talking about for years. So everyone's expecting Bitcoin to go to 42K or something, the 40s. Yeah, because 2025, everything was so amazing for crypto that 2026 is now going to be like typical. You know, 2025 was a typical bull market year, right? You know, I'm being sarcastic. So 2026, it's a lot more complex than how I'm laying it out right now. All right, thoughts on Canton or Zebek? I like Zebek. I'll accumulate some, not right now. I don't know anything about Canton fundamentally. I think Zebek's just going to go back down to its previous bear market bottom. What is Canton? I don't have enough data on my chart here. The bottom with Bitcoin was 62K sideways and up from here. I think we've never not hit the 200-week moving average in the bear market for Bitcoin. The 200-week moving average is 58.5 right now, and so I think at best that's where Bitcoin would go. But then, you know, probably a wick below, maybe even a decent amount of time below. Are expecting this alt season 2027 to be similar to 2021. It'll be better than anything we've seen since 2021, but I'm not willing to slap 2021 on that. 2021 was extraordinary. Can you please repeat your case for Bitcoin? Yeah, on my account. I'm sorry if I like literally I made that video and then went live. So I would love it. I would greatly appreciate it if you would head on over to World War Bitcoin and watch the video. Sweater link, please. What are you talking about? Let's see. Gala's trash. So many people had ridiculously high expectations for it. You know, terrible tokenomics. Well below its bear market bottom. There's just no floor in sight. You know, if we were to see, oh, hello, DevTuber. If we were to see Gala like actually flatline, maybe I'll buy some with the hopes that it would get up to 3 cents or something like that. All-time high is what? Way higher than that. I never thought. It's funny seeing TA influencers when their TA doesn't work all of a sudden. What are you talking about? 2025 was not the bull market. Javi, I don't know if you caught the sarcasm in my voice, but have you been in Naples, Florida before? No. Are we so back? Nope. How about Jupiter? Why are you guys saying we're back? What are you talking about? Not yet. I haven't looked at Jupiter in a while. Jupiter has no floor. Where's the floor for Jupiter? I want to see it establish some kind of floor for multiple weeks, potentially months, and then I'll be interested in Jupiter. What happened to alts? Hey, GA, why don't you watch the video I just made on my main TikTok account, World War Bitcoin? I explain it entirely in that video. And I explain, like, I just want to remind you guys, I was a mega bear going into 2025. 2025 actually did better than what I thought it was going to do. Now, I changed my tune, because we started out 2025 so poorly, and then when it did a V-shaped recovery, I was like, all right, maybe we're good to go. I was cautiously optimistic, but I was never on board with 2025 being this big altcoin year. Riot and SLNH still good plays. You just got to be patient with them. DevTuber, we're talking, when you ask a question about stocks, the answer is always patience. I mean, let me pull up the Riot Bitcoin chart, and I think you'll be really encouraged to see this. This is Riot's performance in comparison to Bitcoin for those watching on YouTube, at least. This Bitcoin is likely close to a bottom. And so once Bitcoin bottoms, what do you think Riot's going to do? Riot, since early 2024, this chart is beautiful. So yes, stocks require much more time. I know people who sold all their XRP and went all in on Zebek and made a fortune. Hey, the timing worked out, right? Alt season 2026. Okay. I sold Bitcoin 2 years ago and bought gold. Hey, if that's true, then you did great. And I think gold is going to outperform Bitcoin for the rest of this decade. There will be plenty of times when Bitcoin in seasons for sure outperforms gold. Is it worth buying alts now? Or waiting to be safe? The only altcoins that I'm buying right now are Ethereum and XRP. And then I just for pure honesty, I bought $200 of Nakamoto games. Bitcoin will be below 60K today. I don't agree. Hasn't a bear market started? We are so far into the bear market that it's almost over. But what's the bear market? Because I mean, like, when I say something like that, people then interpret it as, oh, Alex is saying that Bitcoin's going to hit a new all-time high in 2 months or something, and I'm definitely not saying that. Sui, Sammy, I really like Sui. You just need to be patient with it. It's one of there's only like two cryptocurrencies created two utility cryptos created between the previous bear market and now that I would be interested in, Sui and Ondo. But just given the tokenomics and investing and all that, I would wait for a long time on Sui. But that'll definitely be one worth buying at some point. If Bull Run is back, I'm going to be a mind goblin for Halloween. Okay. I did not upload the long video on YouTube. I only uploaded on TikTok. On my World War Bitcoin account, which I just got back. I posted it, and then I really wanted to go live. Do you think we see Selena at 20? Selena? 20 might be a reach. 20 is probably too low. If Solana goes to 20, I'll be so happy. Oh my goodness. Solana is a no-brainer. if it goes to 20, it's a no-brainer to get up to like $100, but probably, I mean, and potentially hitting a new all-time high. Wait, there's a question I missed. Are being too greedy? All altcoins did 3 to 5x last year. I don't think they did. All? No. When would you start accumulating other alts than XRP and ETH? I haven't really thought about it. It depends on the altcoin. What I want to see is multiple weeks of those altcoins being flat. And we're not even close yet. So many altcoins are still just in a clear downtrend. Hello, Sambo. I bought 10K of Axelar, now worth $300. Yeah, Axelar peaked at 271. It's now at 5 cents, 5.5 cents. Will it ever come back? I don't know. It's the scam of those utility coins, man. You know, meme coins, at least meme coins, they're fully diluted when they launch. But these utility coins are absolute garbage with their tokenomics. You know, could Axelar give you some kind of a return? You're not getting back to break even, Anthony. Never. Literally never. Sorry about that. What about Litecoin? Litecoin broke a 7-year trend line. It's probably going a fair amount lower, but I will always show some love and respect to Litecoin. I think at the right time, Litecoin can do really well. But for now, I mean, I think we'll see Litecoin at $40, maybe lower than that. Is this not your main account? It's not. I'm trying to build this up to 10,000 followers. You were one of the few guys that didn't promise a huge 2025 in crypto. Always have appreciated you. Thank you, Titus. It's funny. People will still accuse me of being a moon boy in 2025. And it's like, I just can't win. But I always appreciate the ones who know the truth. ICP opinion. There's hope for ICP. It's at $2.33. It's lower than it's ever been. So I don't know. I mean, it's another one. Where's the floor? There's so many cryptos. That's my question, is where's the floor? At some point, you know, it would make sense to buy ICP, but I just don't. I don't want to buy a coin that I don't know how low it's going to go. At some point, I'll buy it. Chris Moore, please stop trolling. It's around 66K now. Yeah, I can read. Buy target for Fartcoin. The lower the better, but I definitely, I know that sounds crazy. I want to buy some Fartcoin. It's in our brains in a way that other meme coins, 99.99% of other meme coins can't get there because of the ridiculousness of the name. So it's at $160 million market cap. It needs to go much lower than that, and it probably will. So, and then for a buy target, I wouldn't worry about a buy target for any meme coin. What every one of them is going to do, literally every one of them, except for the brand new ones, you know, they're just going to go flat. They're going to go like this. And then around the time that Bitcoin hits $100,000 again, that's when they'll start slowly climbing. And then when Bitcoin breaks its previous all-time high, those will shoot off. So you have a lot of time for every meme coin. That was it. I think that was it for the relief rally. Let's just take it day to day. I'm quite convinced that we're going under 60K, whether it's tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now. But I'll be very interested at the 200-week moving average for Bitcoin. Core is the most Bitcoin-aligned chain. Cool, I don't know anything about it. Arrow or Ondo? I prefer Ondo. How low do you think XRP is going to go before it starts shooting up? I am on record. Write it down. I believe XRP $1.12 was the bottom. Maybe I'm wrong, but that doesn't mean that everything else has bottomed. I just think if one cryptocurrency has bottomed and I had to choose and my life depended on it, I would choose XRP. All right, look at VVV. Venice token. Oh, yeah, Venice token. I mean, it's very new. New-ish. I mean, all right, it's almost a year old. So that's been chopping for a while. That looks pretty bottomed. I know nothing about this. It's on Coinbase. But this looks like just, all right, it's accumulated. And it doesn't look like it's going to go all that much lower if it does. So I appreciate you and your boyski for keeping us informed. Thank you, Shocker. Do you think Morpho is worth holding on to? At this point, with most cryptos, it would be a hard sell. I mean, and that's another one looking at the chart. Similar to VVV, the chart doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I'd hold on to it. You can't be down all that much. I mean, if you bought the peak for Morpho, you're only down like 55%, which is a lot better than a lot of other cryptos. Yeah, thoughts on ICP? I hope you heard me. I'll second that at 2025 cents. Thank you. GM Jamie, why were you gone for so long? On my main account or here? I've gone live. I've been going live every Tuesday and Thursday of 2026, and then most Fridays. On my main account, it got banned. If you had 2,000 pounds, would you put it all in XRP? XRP is most likely going to just be flat for like 2 years. Maybe not 2 years, a year. So what do you want to do? You know, do you want to make some money sooner than that? I'd probably put it into like oil and like literally like oil stocks. Guys, there's another niche. I am very early on this. Let me take a little bit of time from this live stream to explain my thought process here. Have you guys heard about this data center that's being built in Texas, in the panhandle of Texas? That is going to be, the building is going to be 5 miles long by 5 miles wide. This data center is going to use up, once it's built, it is going to use twice as much energy on an annual basis as all of the residences in the state of Texas combined. That is not good for our electricity bills. And this is happening all over the place with these data centers. Okay. So I had a bill, an electricity bill, a couple months ago that was $700, and then last month with the snowstorm in my area it was $900. So I'm doing the math. Let's say it cost me $20,000 to get solar panels on my roof. When my electricity bill was $200, that was 100 months worth of electricity bill payments to get some stupid solar panels on my roof. With a $700 and $900 electricity bill, that's cutting down that to like 3 years. 3 years and I get my money back. So I'm a lot more interested right now to get solar panels. And I'm looking at a lot of these, this is brand new, guys. But I'm looking at a lot of these solar stocks, and I'm seeing a bubble that burst, and then the bubble has burst, and we're down into nobody cares about solar, and now they're slowly starting to climb. I don't have any recommendations, but they're still slowly starting to climb, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if there are a lot of people who are thinking like me right now, where now it makes a lot more sense to get some stupid solar panels on my roof. So there's a niche that maybe you should look into. Not financial advice. Brightside, thanks for the follow. Caspa. Caspa is probably going to be one of the earlier ones that I'm interested in buying. It still hasn't quite bottomed out at a level like for a long enough time that I'm confident enough in Caspa. but it had 2 years of distribution play itself out. So I'm thinking that if it's not in accumulation now, it's going to be very soon. So CASP is on my radar. I don't know where CASP is going from here, but I could see it doing very well. What are your thoughts on Moon River? Oh man, I don't know. ETH bottom. If it hasn't bottomed yet, how about 1700? Let me look at Moon River. It's another one of those created to take advantage of the 2025 bull run that just looks dead. I wouldn't take a risk on it. Thoughts on SUI? I already mentioned SUI. I'm really interested in buying SUI, but not yet. So XRP is dead forever. I have no idea how you got that from what I said. I'm trying to process in my brain. What did I say that made you triggered that thought in your mind? No, XRP will do just fine. But what I'm talking about is a year. I mean, if for you a year is forever, which for crypto people, for people who buy crypto, a year it might as well be forever. You know, if a year is too long, then sure, XRP is dead forever, but no. Thought on Link. I like Link at 550. I don't like it right now. I would wait on Link. Unless it broke through around, if you saw it back at $10, what we're seeing on the chart right now might be a fake out, but I think it is going to go back down to its previous bear market bottom. You think this bear run is going to be 4 years again? Absolutely not. No. I think it's almost over. Now, at the bottom, just reminder, whenever crypto bottoms, it's probably going to chop for a really long time. So this bear run, you know, even if we hit the bottom, it's going to feel much longer. Should we give up on Shiba Inu? Pretty much. There's just too many other options. Now, would I sell Shiba Inu right now? It's back down to its previous bear market bottom. But what I would do is I would wait for it to like maybe double or triple from here. I could see it tripling from here eventually. Thoughts on robotics and RWA for this cycle? Are you talking about cryptos or just stocks or whatever, Izzy? Let me hear back from you. What's your main account? World War Bitcoin, Ponky. Yeah, bear market isn't 4 years. Yeah. It was nice to see a pump for one day. Yeah, it was nice. It's the bear market. Brum, thanks for the follow. New York State also, yeah. Our electric grid is going to take a huge hit. Pretty much. And they use silver. Yep. Yeah, I'm caught up to all these comments that I was saying about solar, these data centers. So silver, I mean, silver is going much higher than $121 or whatever it got to, but silver, after that kind of a move, in my opinion, it's going to chop for a really long time. And then after, you know, at some point, I would just hold on. I think silver is going well over $200, maybe $300. Look up ASTI. I know lots of people who make a lot of money selling solar, like just in the summer. Seems like a good option. What is ASTI? Oh, Ascent Solar Technologies. Okay. So, yeah, you know what? I mean, I'm looking at this chart on my, I'm sorry, I can't show it to you guys on X, but like, it looks like death on a long enough timeline. I mean, my goodness, what was this at? So they must have done a lot of reverse splits and stuff. Oh yeah, they must have done a ton of reverse splits. Oh my goodness. All right, so this was once, without reverse splits, you know, this was once at almost $10 million a share but they've done lots of reverse splits, I'm assuming, and now they're at $6.39. All right, but let me zoom in. Because I'm sure recently it's at least shown some signs of life. Wow. This is one of the worst performing stocks I've ever seen in my life. All right, this bottomed out at a little over $1. Now it's at $6.39. This is exactly what I'm talking about with solar, guys. That is a wild chart. Oh my goodness, ASTI. I'm going to add that to my watch list. I'm going to look at them and see. I mean, that chart still scares me. Yeah, crypto. So I don't know any robotic cryptos. RWA, I think RWA is going to do well, Izzy. Thank you, Forgone, for the super chat. How can Bitcoin go sub 50K without ETH going way down? I don't think Bitcoin's going sub 50K. If Bitcoin goes sub 50K, ETH is going to like 1,400. I think Bitcoin's going to go to like 58. You know, and let me pull up ETH Bitcoin. All right, you know, nothing too crazy to look at on the ETH Bitcoin chart. So if Bitcoin goes to 55,000 or so, ETH would probably go to 17, 16, something like that. But I think it would also put in a bullish divergence on the weekly chart. So yeah, thoughts on Moon River. I hope you saw my thoughts on that. Bloom Energy. BE. I mean, you know, so far this year, see, I didn't even know this. I mean, some of these charts, I might just buy the ETF. There's a solar ETF. Because some of these solar charts, you know, this one's done a 10x in a year and a half, Bloom Energy. But I'm sure at one point it was way higher than that. Or not. No, this was... All right, this launched after the solar boom, I guess. I have solar in Southern California, but the energy company keeps raising the rate every year. I don't know what that means, Steve. I would love it if you could elaborate on that. Do you still have an 8 to 10 cent price target for Jasmy? I think I would stick with that. You know, I think Jasmy could eventually get to 8 to 10 cents. You said 1 year. What did I say 1 year about? I don't know what you're talking about. Easy does it. Caspa being mined by Marathon Digital and dumping to keep their Bitcoin. I'm not worried about that on a long enough timeline. Bloom Energy will supply power to many data centers. Okay. Well, that's what that's about. What about DOT? Yesterday it pumped very hard. 1 day means nothing. DOT, what was very hard for DOT? All right, cool. It did like a 50% pump in the last week or so. You know, it's still, it's not in any kind of uptrend on the chart. There's nothing about this that would get me excited yet. Crow. All right, crypto.com. I think Crow's going to be fine. I look at the chart, I just see one really long period of accumulation. And then the bottoms aren't putting in lower lows. So, I mean, whatever they did with their tokenomics is terrible. JP Morgan has a price target on silver of $300. I'm not too excited about agreeing with JP Morgan, but there we go. Silver is a 3 to 6 year hold for me. I mean, yeah, that's paper hands for silver, for metals. Nikki, thanks for the follow. Mooney's Creation, thanks for the follow. So do you think ETH is a good buy right now? Again, DCAing, Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum. Those are the three. Dogecoin, I think Dogecoin's going a little bit lower. And the thing that I'll say about Dogecoin, just look at what Dogecoin does every bear market. It's flat. It's just dead flat until around the time that Bitcoin crosses its previous all-time high. So I wouldn't buy Dogecoin. Even if I thought Dogecoin wasn't going down anymore, I wouldn't buy Dogecoin. I would wait. I'd wait for it to just flatline for several months. Your thoughts on Crow? I already answered that. Do you think the bottom is near or we've already reached it? I think we have one more leg lower to the 200-week moving average. Solar stocks were propped up by government subsidies. So Equity Master, let me ask you something because I'm still learning about this. Are they no longer propped up by government subsidies? Because I look at solar charts, a lot of these solar charts, and I'm like, my goodness, these look like a disaster until the last few months when they're like starting to show some signs of life. So I'm assuming when you say that they were propped up by government subsidies, what you're talking about is like the reason, like back when they were much higher than what they are right now, that's when they were propped up by government subsidies, but they're not anymore. On XRP, oh my goodness. On XRP, I know you made a comment and I asked for clarification. You said 1 year. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 1 year on XRP. Okay, I'm with you now. Okay. Dent. I don't know about Dent. I mean, at least it's old. You know, accumulation. Could you call since 2022 just a long, drawn-out period of accumulation? Sure. It's just gone lower. So maybe Dent's going to be fine at some point. I wouldn't touch it just yet, especially yesterday. I mean, man, it's up 70% today. Yeah, I would try to probably short that eventually. H-bar, I'll accumulate H-bars some point. Not yet. Some point. I like H-bar. Thoughts on STX? Last time I looked at stacks, it looked better than I thought. It might be all right. It's been 9 weeks of accumulation, seemingly. It might not go all that much lower. I want to see more proof that it's bottomed out before buying some, but not yet. All right, Canton, you're the second person who's ever asked me about Canton, Hamadi. And the first person was during this live stream. What's going on with Canton? Oh, it's like brand new. That's why. And it's doing really well. I have no thoughts. I don't know anything about this. XMR, there are 3 cryptos. There used to be one crypto that I would consider a long-term hold, and that was Bitcoin. Now there's 3. There's Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Monero. But after it did what it did at the end of, when was that? Early January? I would wait for a while if I was making my first buys on it. Chainlink, I already said Moose Knuckler. I think it's going down to 550. No, they are still finding their bottoms. I'm assuming you're talking about the solar stocks. So, I don't know. Coinbase taking loans on Litecoin and ADA. Cool, man. That's one part. I was trying to think. I'm going to give a talk, just a local thing about crypto. And I was trying to think of what do I say about crypto that's positive, and like things with DeFi is positive. I'm going to be pretty negative about crypto in that talk, about crypto in general. Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. I'll always love Bitcoin. And there's some that I'll say like, Bitcoin Cash, Monero. Those are fine. But I'm mostly going to bash crypto. And I'm going to talk about a hopeful future with crypto. So, worst cycle ever. I wonder if anyone was warning about that possibility at least. JJ, thanks for the follow. If people are bullish on XRP, they should be bullish on Wormhole and Axelar. Really? I looked at the Axelar chart. The problem with Axelar is the tokenomics. I haven't looked at Wormhole in a long time. And just both of these charts look like falling knives. That's the problem. So maybe eventually, yeah. What kind of market are we actually in? Bear or bull? We're in a bear market, no doubt. But the thing is, we've been in a bear market for so long that it's almost over. But that doesn't mean I answered this question already during this live stream. That doesn't mean we go to the moon tomorrow. After a bottom, what comes after crypto bottoms is extreme boredom. And a lot of people absolutely screaming from the mountaintops that we're going a lot lower. So it's not like we bottom and then V-shaped recovery, not in a bear market. In a bear market, we accumulate for a while. Thoughts on Tau? Just a dude with type 2. Thanks for the follow. Sorry that you have type 2. Tau. Tau has potential. It's just like somebody asked me about Arrow earlier this live stream. I looked at the Tau chart and I'm like, man, it's do or die for Tau. If it loses this level of support, it's going down under $100 easily. But it might hold it. It's been 4 weeks now of holding this level of support. So it's either at a perfect time to buy or you're going to be able to buy it at a 50% discount at some point. You're welcome, Miss Glynn. Thoughts on SKR? What is SKR? Seeker? I'm seeing a crypto that's 5 weeks old. I have no thoughts. I'm sorry. I just don't know anything about it. Check out ASTS. Do you think it's a good long-term investment? Oh. It's a bullish chart. It's just clearly in an uptrend. It looks like it finds support around the 20-week EMA. And so right now, it's just like a little bit above the 20-week EMA after having found support there. This seems like a good time to buy it. So yeah, looks good. Let's see. Do you love AVAX? At some point, I will love AVAX, but AVAX can go much lower. Solana, I think Solana is going a decent amount lower, but I also hope it goes much lower because I'll be very greedy to buy Solana. Are Coinbase and Crow safe? I feel safe on those. Can't believe the top was early. I don't know, man. Frankie, thanks for the follow. Are EXXG? I don't know what you're saying. One of the biggest positives for crypto would likely it being the trust layer of AI. That's something I need to explore more. I'm not sure what you're saying. When do we see bull run again then? Quick answer. Well, here's the problem with answering a question like that. What do you mean? Because when I say bull run, I say the bull run from this cycle started in, well, I guess, last cycle. It started in January of 2023. But in January of 2023, everyone was calling for Bitcoin to go to $12,000. It never did. And for altcoins to go way lower. It didn't happen. So if you're going to go by that definition, the bull run would be very soon. But it's not going to look like a bull run for months. But most people, when they ask when's the bull run again, they're asking for like euphoria. And we're not going to see that in 2026. I think you'll be hopeful or excited at the end of 2026. But my eggs are in the 2027 basket. They've been for a while. Thank you for the follow. Life of R. Hody. Oh, Life of Rody, sorry. Thoughts on Hype? Hype's a good one. It might be in a period of accumulation right now, which will happen for another several weeks. It's another one. It's new. It's one of the few new ones that I like. Institutions have ruined crypto. I would not. I think the blame is continuing to go in the wrong direction. Watch the video I just made on my main account. You can see a link to my main account on my profile on this account on TikTok, WWBTC5. Crypto has moved into a patience period with large swings. Yeah. How's Aerodrome doing? It's at a level that if it loses that level, it's going to go a lot lower, but it's holding it so far. What do I hold? Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Nakamoto Games just bought some of that this week. HEEHEE. A bunch of meme coin dust. Not much else. Thoughts on Bitcoin direction to 58K? Yes, I've been saying that. You think we bottomed on Bitcoin or still to come? 58K. Avocado Toast, Justin Kelly, thanks for the follow. If you were to buy ETH in the next 7 days, would you buy today or wait? That's a tough one. I mean, I buy on red days, 1993, sure, I'd buy today. We are in a bear market now. Correct. Could you please check XPin? I'll check one of those. I'll check XPin. I'm not going to check two cryptos that I've never heard of before. And it's too new. I mean, and it looks like it's trending downwards. Probably going to continue downwards. Will there be a brief rally and another dump for Bitcoin? I don't know. I think there will be another dump. I don't know if a rally will precede that. Maybe we'd get back up to the 70s, maybe even kiss 80. If we broke through 80, I'd probably question my thesis as to another move down to the, to the 50s. Do you think major alts will do 10x until 2028? If I buy bottom this year, major alts. All right, let's say I'm right about XRP and it bottomed. $1.12. Do I think XRP will then go to $10 to $11? I don't know. What would it be? I don't think so. So what's a major alt? Could Chainlink bottom at 550? I think Chainlink's going to 550. Could it get to $55? It could. Yeah. It's utility tokens you dislike. LOL. Potentially the biggest use case for crypto will be record or trust infrastructure layer for AI. Okay. If it goes to 58K, it goes lower. So you think we are in a super cycle? No. I mean, for Bitcoin, you want to call it a super cycle for Bitcoin? Yeah, that's fine. Going to dump any second now. All right. You think crypto will surge on Friday if the Clarity Act passes? I probably, like most of you guys probably know more about the Clarity Act and the effects on it than I do. I have no idea. And I just don't care. New cycle will bring new memes and new utility like this cycle. Pinlink and Fartcoin, better to wait. I'm more interested in new utility next time around than I was in 2024. Because now anyone creating a utility crypto, there's no guarantees. Like everyone who created a utility crypto in 2022 and 2023, they had dreams of becoming billionaires, And that's why they developed them with those terrible tokenomics. It's an absolute scam. And they got what they deserved. But I would encourage you to look at charts. There's a lot of charts of random cryptos that did incredibly well. Nakamoto Games did a 75x. Pendle did over a 100x. And there was a long period of time for both of those cryptos to accumulate them. Floki did a 60x, a meme coin. So I would stick with some cryptos. That's why I bought Nakamoto Games. Could Nakamoto Games have got up to 270? Could it get to $1? It's at 6 cents right now. Could it get to $1? I think it could. And it's back down to bear market bottom. Like Pendle, I really hope Pendle goes a lot lower, because Pendle was accumulating for several months under 10 cents. It was under 10 cents. It went to 7.53. My goodness, those are the opportunities that I'm looking for right now. Thank you, John Hawkins. So you guys can have your new utility, your new meme coins. I'll stick with the utility and meme coins that I would hope would do what Pendle and Nakamoto Games and Floki did from the last bear market to its peak in a time when crypto did terribly. What are your thoughts on you're asking me for thoughts on 4 different, like Berkshire Hathaway? I mean, Berkshire Hathaway I would assume would never go down. So those are my thoughts, especially I just pulled up the chart. I can't even find it. Where? I don't know. I'm going to have to pass on that. Still a lot of unfilled wicks on the dump coins from 1010. And like I said, you have a long time to wait to buy meme coins. Major like Sui, I could see Sui doing a 10x from its very bottom. Let's see. XRP Army Chainlink Marines, okay. I wouldn't buy any crypto gaming tokens. Yeah, you're a very opinionated guy, Crayon Dave. I'm buying it for the dead cat bounce. It's not that I believe in them, it's dead cat bounce. I'm focused on Pith, Ondo, and Tau. Thoughts on those 3? I like Ondo and Tau. Pith, could it actually be the chain link of Solana? I guess. I've never been a big fan of it. Clarity Act is huge for ETH. You should care. I still don't. I don't know. Sorry. I don't have a TV. It's really hard for me to keep up with news. I can't do it. Clarity Act will move XRP. I could see that. Bitcoin will bottom this March around 55K, then Bitcoin is going to 700K. I could see the first part of that, and then eventually 700K, yeah. But if you're saying like the next year. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I'm at the point where I got to be done. Sorry, I tried answering it. Like, it's just the questions keep piling up, and I got to have lunch. I am going live with Devin tomorrow. So, sorry, especially my take on AVAX. It's like, I think it's going lower, but I'll accumulate some AVAX. There's your answer. All right, see you later, Doodle. Thanks, Enriched Gardens. Check out my video again on World War Bitcoin. I just posted an in-depth video on that channel. Check it out. All right, see you guys. By the way, on my TikTok channel, World War Bitcoin, not my YouTube channel.